Hi, welcome to the Real Estate of Things. My name is Michael Brown with the Brown Residential Group. I'm here with Austin Bates from Homeowners Financial. How are you, my friend?
Great, how are you?
Good. It's cooking out there, 112 this week. Not looking forward to that. But today we're going to talk about
investing in real estate.
Love it. So, I'm going to let you start this week.
Well, we're starting to see the casual homeowner invest in real estate again, and figured it'd be a good idea to talk about what goes into doing that. Not everyone's going to do a full fix and flip remodel or have the capital resources for it, but how do you get started in investing in real estate? And something that's always kind of been a question of mine from a real estate standpoint is, what do you look for when you're taking a potential investor out as far as what makes a good investment from a real estate standpoint, from a property standpoint?
That's a great question. So, it depends on two things. It depends on what the objectives are for the client. If the client's looking for a home, let's say they live out of state, but they want a secondary home here, then ultimately the property that I'm going to try to find them is based around their needs, right? So what part of town do they want to live in? What are the amenities that they're looking for? Do they golf? What kind of restaurants, etc.? So we try to find them a home that obviously fits within their financial parameters, but then secondly, the lifestyle that they're looking for. But what I have seen in those circumstances is where when they're not here, they'll want to use that unit potentially as a vacation rental. So that's something that they can handle for themselves. And sometimes you can get $3,000 to $4,000 a week depending on the time of year, right? So that's a great return. But if it's somebody that lives here, then typically there's not sort of an emotional attachment to it. So what they're looking for is, where can I get the best return?
Right.
So in answer to your question, it's all obviously going to come down to what their budget is.
Right.
And then my job is to look at locations that can support that budget and figure out where they can get the best return and where they might be able to have the most chance of that unit or that home always being rented.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be that we might look at Tempe, ASU. We might look at certain parts in Scottsdale for roommate situations.
So geography plays a big role.
Absolutely, absolutely. Geography, and also in terms of the desire and the demand for that area.
Right. Because some geographical areas could only appreciate again so much. They might have, kind of be at the peak of their appreciation stage, if you will, or they might be saturated with rentals. But you have the ability to look up front as far as the rentals in an area and what the market rents are as well, correct?
Yes. So when I go online, I can look at the history of what like-for-like properties have been rented for, and I can say to the client, listen, this is what this neighborhood supports as a rental. This is what your investment's going to be. This is what your note's going to be. So this might make a good investment for you, not only because of the return you'll get on a month-to-month basis, but also where we might be in 3-5 years from now, we can sell that and then take that investment and maybe put it to a different property.
So there's a diligence up front that you could do.
No question.
That will help make it a smarter investment.
Yeah, you don't just do it blindly. You have to follow a format. And my job as the agent is to help guide the clients that they better understand what supports their specific investment needs.
Yeah. And from a financing standpoint, how do you get into your first investment property? Some people will use their current property as their first investment and save for the down payment on the next property. This could save you from a down payment perspective because the required down payment on a primary residence is lower than the down payment on an investment property.
Okay.
So if you put a minimum down on your current primary residence, want to retain that property, and buy a new primary residence and convert that property, then you could get into investing cheaper.
Okay.
Whereas if you're going to buy, if you're comfortable in your house, you don't want to sell it, you don't want to move, you just want to buy your first investment property, you're looking at a 15 to 20% down payment requirement. Now back in the heyday, this was as low as 5 or 0%, but if you get into an investment property at 0 or 5%, you're negative cash flow right off the bat.
Right.
So now with the rules the way that they are, a 20% down payment requirement is kind of the bread and butter. You could do 15, but you're looking at a higher monthly payment. But when you buy that first investment property, you don't want to be out every month. You want a cash flow from that. So the bigger the down payment that you put down, the better chance you have of cash flowing.
Do you think that at this particular time that the average person out there, is this a good time for them to get into the market as opposed to before where it was just, very cutthroat California and Canadian investors? What about the average guy out there?
Well, you're seeing less cash investors coming into the market now, so the opportunity to invest from the casual homeowners increasing. and market rents continue to rise. So you've still got a good portion of the population that prefers to rent over buying. Maybe they were burned in the past, and they don't want to buy again, but they're always going to need rents. They're always going to need rental properties.
Absolutely.
So the demand for rentals is going to continue to be there. And you get people that are fixing and flipping properties, which is more of a business standpoint, need more capital to it. But from the casual investor, picking up an investment property or two right now is a great time to do it, because you're going to have demand to get that property filled, and you're probably getting cash flow right off the bat.
I couldn't agree more. Listen, this is a big subject. There's so much that we could go into. I think that the goal today is just to let you know that the timing is good. If that's something you've been considering, sit down with Austin, go over a financial plan, sit down with me, figure out the right kind of property, and bingo, we'll get you out there and get you a property. This is the Real Estate of Things. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Take care and stay cool.